of help. And what this represents is feedback. A lot of the same services and a lot of the same programs that you already work with. It's just that the money's not being filtered through the government. So I got to get this to you here before government Santa takes all of his, because obviously he's got some different priorities, which you can see.
Give me.
And he's the one that's got the legal authority. That's the problem.
Give it in my box. In my box. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. And
I'm sorry. There's none left for you. Sorry. Oh, welfare fraud. For votes, please. Welfare fraud, please, for you. All for you. Just in trade for your vote for the next term. Big unions. Oh, I can't forget about you. Oh,
government supposedly has your best interest in mind. Yeah.
Take from government Santa. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, nanny state lover. Here, please. We need more votes for you. From you. Thank you.
And it's just this obvious in real life as well.
Welfare fraud. Here you go. Is that enough for you? How's that? Okay. Government handouts for you. Vote for me. That how it works?
All right, so behind all the humor, you know, what this was meant to exercise, obviously, is the difference between a system of wealth transfer that is based on the concept of moral obligation and a system that is based on the concept of legal obligation. Now, if you're still not convinced as to which one is better, there's an experiment that you can try out at home on your own. Try this someday. Pretend one day that your car battery has died and approach one of your neighbors and ask them for help. See what kind of response you get. The next day, do the same thing, only this time approach a different neighbor, and this time, instead of asking for help, this time demand that they help you. Repeat this, and notice the difference in responses that you get from the people who you ask and the people of whom you demand. Now, that principle holds true at all levels of society. So if your government program that places demands on the resources of others isn't giving you the results that you want, it's not because you're not demanding enough. It's because you're demanding in the first place. Now, on a personal level, I believe quite fervently that all of us need to do our fair share to help our brothers and sisters in need. And I think that point bears repeating for the benefit of those out there who continue to think of the Tea Party movement as nothing more than a collection of angry hate-mongers. We all do need to do our part to help. However, it is no person's right to tell somebody else what their part should be. Because everybody's role, everybody's fair share, if you will, is entirely a matter of their own circumstances and their own conscience. Now, you tell this to some of our friends on the left, and invariably you get the response that goes, well, what if somebody doesn't do their fair share? Or what if somebody in need of help seeks it out but can't find it? Valid enough questions, but the problem is they're so singularly focused on whether or not the system fails on a case-by-case basis that they fail to take note of the fact that the system has failed across the board. And that their system is by its very design a failure. Now, I have, and I can't emphasize this enough, I truly have the utmost respect for people who advocate for others, for people who speak up for those who can't speak for themselves, and for people who really fight to uphold the principles of basic human dignity. But as much as I respect those who advocate, I do not respect those who steal. And when the government grants somebody legal claim to what rightfully belongs to someone else, that's stealing. Doesn't matter what the circumstances are, doesn't matter what anybody's intentions are, that's stealing. So to wrap up here, you know, it all kind of goes back to the example with a car battery. Let's say hypothetically that one day you really do have a dead battery, and the timing couldn't be worse. You really need to be somewhere, and this is on the verge of ruining your day.
How you doing, brother?
That doesn't give you the right to barge into your neighbor's house, put a gun to his head, and drag him to the end of your driveway. You might have to call on a few neighbors. You might have to call a family member or a friend or somebody that doesn't really live close by. And if all else fails, you might have to call a tow truck. But the point is, you don't need to violate someone else's rights to get the help that you need, and we as a society should not tolerate theft in the name of charity.
Hallelujah.
Thank you.